Hello, do you like plants? Have you ever been hiking or just walking down the street, saw a neat looking plant and thought, I wonder what kind of plant this is? Well, it can take years of study to be able to identify plants right down to the species level just by sight. You can satisfy some of your curiosity and annoy all your friends just by learning some of the major plant families. Now, I'm from the desert wasteland of southern Idaho, so the examples I'm going to use are things you can find where I'm from, in Idaho. But these plant families exist almost everywhere in their various forms. Before we begin, I should probably touch on some of the basic terminology. Vascular plants are plants that use xylem and phloem to transport water and nutrients. These are like the veins of the plant. Some plants don't have xylem and phloem. These are the non-vascular plants, like moss. An easy rule of thumb is that if it has stems and leaves, it's a vascular plant. If the stems are covered in stiff bark, then the plant is woody. If the stems are green and soft, it's herbaceous. Monocots and eudicots are trickier. They have a lot of interesting structural differences in the arrangement of their vascular systems. Eudicots have taproots, one main root the others branch off of, and monocots do not. But assuming you aren't digging around in your neighbor's garden, the easiest way to tell the difference is the monocot leaves have parallel veins, while eudicots branch. Also, monocots are not technically woody, although some monocots, like palm trees, have structures resembling bark. Lots of plants can be identified by their flowers. Here are some of the most important parts to keep in mind. There are the petals. The number and symmetry of these will be important later. And the sepals underneath. There are the stamens, which are male sex organs, and pistils, which are female sex organs. Many but not all flowers have both. All of these flower parts can come in a variety of numbers and may be fused together in a variety of ways, which makes flowers a great distinguisher between the many different types of plants. Now, are you ready to start identifying plants? Here are 7 major plant families you should know. Poaceae, the grass family. This is the only monocot I chose to put on this list. Maybe not the most glamorous plant family. You'd think these would be pretty easy to spot, but sedges and rushes actually look surprisingly similar. What sets them apart is their bracts, little leaf-like structures, which in this case will take the place of petals or sepals. Members of Poaceae have 2 inner bracts called the lemma and palea, and 2 outer bracts called glumes. Asteraceae, the sunflower family. These flowers are tricky because what looks like a single flower is actually a bunch of small flowers put together. The disc flowers make up the center, and the ray flowers make up the outer ring of petals. These compound flowers make this family easy to spot once you know what you're looking for. Apiaceae. This plant family can be identified by its umbel, a bunch of small flowers branching out from the same point on a stem. This plant family includes both edible plants, like carrots of course, but also poisonous plants like hemlock. Fabaceae, the pea family. Remember what I said about symmetry? The bilateral symmetry of the flowers in the Fabaceae family forms one of their most identifying features, the banner, wing, and keel petal arrangement. Sometimes plants in this family are really obvious, but sometimes they're sneakier. Teeny tiny banner, wing, and keel. Brassicaceae, the mustard family. The flowers of this family have 4 petals and less prominent bilateral symmetry. Their most easily identifiable trait is that they have 2 short stamens and 4 long stamens. Rosaceae, the rose family. This one's one of my personal favorites. Apples, cherries, peaches, and rose bushes. This plant family has been very good to us. Generally, they have 5 petals and 5 sepals, and many spirally arranged stamens. The parts fuse together at the base to form a cup-like structure called a hypanthium. Now I know what you're thinking. 5 petals? This looks like a lot more than 5 petals to me. And the answer is yes. Our modern cultivated roses are actually freaks of nature. Thanks for asking. Solanaceae, the family of the glorious Idaho potato, and deadly nightshade too. But whatever. They have 5 stamens, 5 sepals, and 5 petals, with the petals and sometimes the sepals fused together. The ovary is superior, meaning it's attached above where the petals and sepals are, and is made up of 2 carpels fused together. Now keep in mind, these are just the broadest strokes of a fairly small percentage of plant classifications. There are over 600 plant families in existence worldwide, making this sample representative about 1%. But it's enough to annoy your friends with on long walks, so all in all, I'd count this as a win.